1. Early evolution and ancestry of rhinos. Rhinos belong to the Rhinocerotidae family, which dates back over 50 million years. They are part of the Perissodactyla order, which includes other odd-toed ungulates like horses and tapirs. The first ancestors of modern-day rhinos emerged during the Eocene epoch, around 55 million years ago. These early rhinos were quite different from the ones we see today, and much smaller in size. Early ancestors, early species, like Hyraceus, were small dog-like animals, around the size of a large dog. Over time, they evolved into larger, more robust creatures. The earliest known true rhino is Indricotherium, or Paraceratherium, a massive herbivore that lived around 34 to 23 million years ago in what is now Asia. This species was one of the largest land mammals ever to live, standing up to 16 feet tall and weighing 15 to 20 tons. 2. Rise of modern rhinos by the Miocene epoch, about 23 to 5 million years ago. The modern types of rhinos began to appear. This era marked a diversification in the rhino family, with several species evolving to adapt to different environments. Some of these rhinos evolved in temperate regions, while others lived in tropical environments. The emergence of modern genera by the Pleistocene epoch, around 2 million to 12,000 years ago. We see the ancestors of the 5 modern species of rhinos: the white rhino, Ceratotherium cymum; the black rhino, Daceros bicornis; the Indian rhino, Rhinoceros unicornis; the Javan rhino, Rhinoceros sondicus; and the Sumatran rhino, Dicerorhinus sumatrensis. 3. Prehistoric rhinos and extinction rhinos once roamed across much of the world. In the past, there were larger species that are now extinct. For example, woolly rhinoceros, Quelodonta antiquitatis. This iconic species lived during the Ice Age, covering areas like Europe and Asia. These animals were adapted to cold climates, with thick fur to protect them from freezing temperatures. The woolly rhino went extinct around 10,000 years ago. Elasmotherium, another massive prehistoric rhino, sometimes called the Siberian unicorn, lived around 39,000 years ago. It had a large single horn and was similar in size to a mammoth, but is now extinct. These extinct rhinos represent the rich history and evolutionary adaptations that rhinos went through, and they help explain how the modern rhinos came to be. 4. Rhinos in ancient cultures. Throughout human history, rhinos have been important in various cultures and mythologies. For example, in ancient India, rhinos have been revered, and the Indian rhinoceros, Rhinoceros unicornis, is closely linked to many cultural stories and Hindu iconography. In Chinese culture, rhino horns were historically valued for medicinal purposes. Unfortunately, this led to the rampant poaching of rhinos. The presence of rhinos in ancient art, religious symbols, and trade indicates how much these animals have been intertwined with human civilization. 5. Rhinos in the modern era. The impact of human activity. Rhinos have faced significant threats from human activity over the last few centuries, including habitat destruction, poaching, and hunting. Poaching. Rhino populations began to decline drastically in the 19th and 20th centuries, largely due to poaching. Rhino horns, which are made of keratin, the same substance as human hair and nails, became highly sought after. Some cultures believed that the horn had medicinal properties, while others valued it for its rarity. This demand for rhino horn has been a major factor in the drastic reduction of rhino populations. Habitat loss. As human settlements expanded, rhinos were pushed out of their natural habitats, resulting in dwindling populations. Forests and grasslands were cleared for agriculture and development, further endangering these animals. 6 conservation efforts. In the 20th and 21st centuries, conservation efforts for rhinos have intensified. Organizations such as the World Wildlife Fund, WWF, Save the Rhino International, and others have been working to protect rhinos through various means. Anti-poaching laws. Many countries have imposed strict anti-poaching laws and penalties to curb illegal hunting. Protected areas. National parks and wildlife reserves have been set up to safeguard rhinos and prevent habitat destruction. Breeding programs. Conservationists have worked on breeding programs to help increase rhino populations in captivity and release them into the wild. 7. The current status of rhinos. There are 5 extant species of rhinos today, but all are facing some level of endangerment. White rhino. The southern white rhino is classified as near threatened, but efforts have been relatively successful in increasing their numbers. However, the northern white rhino is functionally extinct, with only 2 remaining females and no viable breeding options left. Black rhino. Considered critically endangered with only around 5,000 individuals remaining in the wild. They are primarily found in Africa. Indian rhino. Classified as vulnerable, the Indian rhino has seen population recovery thanks to successful conservation programs. Javan rhino. Critically endangered with fewer than 75 individuals left, confined to a single national park in Indonesia. Sumatran rhino. Also critically endangered with only a few hundred individuals left in the wild, primarily in Indonesia. 8. Fascinating facts about rhinos. Rhinos are herbivores and primarily graze on grass, although the Sumatran rhino has been known to eat fruit and leaves. Rhino horns are not made of bone, but keratin, the same material found in human hair and nails. Rhinos can run surprisingly fast for their size, reaching speeds of up to 30 to 40 miles per hour. Social behavior varies by species. White rhinos are more social and often live in groups, while black rhinos tend to be more solitary. By highlighting these key historical points in your video, you'll provide viewers with a clear understanding of rhino evolution, their role in human culture, the struggles they face today, and the ongoing efforts to conserve them. You could also focus on some of the conservation heroes who are making strides to help protect rhinos for future generations.